Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, last Players Lounge of the week. We're going to take the rest of the week off because it's a bye week. Cowboys do not have a game. They will take this week off and then come back, and they will play the Sunday night game out in Santa Clara, California, Levi Stadium against the defending NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. Players Lounge, we are joined by, it is Nate Newton.
I forgot.
You doing
I'm trying to show you the weather. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It is Everson Walls. It is Jessie, Holley. I am Newy Scruggs. Meteorologist Nate Newton wanted to show that it is 66 degrees outside. You got on your Jason Garrett fight sweatshirt.
I thought I'd do something different.
Hey, like you said, no days off for this team.
Jessie Holley's got on a sweatshirt. I got some long sleeves. Everson he's too cool for school. So
Everson played ball in Cleveland and New York, and
yeah,
they ain't had no cold weather gear at Gremlin back when he was playing. They did.
You ain't lying. It was all hot, baby. It was all like at FAMU. Boy, that heat was on you all the time. We had black helmets too, man. So that was
wow.
Yeah.
First Cleveland game I ever covered. It was a December playoff game, and Everson, you know this very well. I'm bringing this to you on this. First game, I don't understand the dog pound. And they're playing the Patriots, and the Patriots are driving down the field. So back then, the media could just stand on the sideline. So I like to watch from the end zone. Man, I'm getting hit with batteries and bones that they're throwing out here. If you run a route, receiver run a route, they're throwing stuff at you, man. I'm like, what is this?
Dude, the whiskey bottles. Forget all that's too lightweight.
I'm just like, so it's a different.
Whiskey, I was there. Whiskey bottles, man. But it was pre-game, but it was still.
Jesse,
man.
This is a different league than what you came into, young man.
Yeah.
And I
you
just
smell the good weed coming from back there too, man. Be like, whoa,
the
man.
dog
Not good weed.
Different.
Not good weed.
The good weed, yeah. It wasn't the bad. Wasn't that dirt.
Wasn't that Reggie?
Wasn't that
Wasn't that Reggie?
Wasn't that old school babby?
all in the dog pound, baby.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Hope. I'm sorry, we got carried.
We got my something. That's a homeboy conversation. Yeah, boy.
Yes, it is.
Nate Newton.
Last time we do a show together.
Yep, that was it.
It got hot here all of a sudden.
All righty then.
Toughest place you've ever played the National Football League, Nate Newton, was where?
Philadelphia.
That's a good one.
Philadelphia, the old raggedy carpet field, Philadelphia.
The old vet.
And you were there for the Ice Bowl game.
Yeah.
Of course you were. Yeah.
Everson.
We got hit, man. Philly. I got hit with snowballs, man. You talking about there was batteries in the snowballs.
They talking about cover the coach. Man,
Yeah,
we
man.
covered us.
Then they talk about get behind the line because it seems as if no matter where they threw it from,
Right.
they couldn't reach the field.
That's right.
It just every throw they couldn't reach the field. So if you're on this side on the sideline and the field is here, you one step onto the field, and the referees kept saying, "Get back, get back." We're like, "No, kiss my, we are not getting back." Nah, because that's where the batteries and the toothpicks and all that, and they're frozen. They were snowballs, but they were frozen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different story.
Clean sweep. Philly.
Yeah.
Philly. I used to have to tell, because I'm from Jersey, so I used to have to tell, like, there was no women allowed to go to the Philadelphia games.
Mm-hmm.
So, only the fellas can drive up and come to the Philadelphia game because it was just too much of having my mom or an aunt or something like that. And,
if you weren't good with your hands, don't show up.
That's right.
This was an added pressure you just didn't want to put on the people. Your people's that. So, yeah, it was a clean sweep, Philadelphia.
From what I heard, the only woman that they would let in there was Randy White's mom.
Yeah, she was ready to throw
She didn't take
hands.
no crap.
Yeah, she was ready to throw hands.
She was protected by her babies.
So did you also tell the folks who got tickets to in Philadelphia not to wear any cowboy gear? Or did they wear their cowboy?
My cousin wore his cowboy gear, but my cousin Nod had a way of getting along with people. Even though he was ready to fight, he had a way of getting along with people.
Like you.
It's a good point.
Just like you.
Family trait. Family trait.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Man.
Now, all my people wore my stuff. They just, like I said, the dudes that came to the game, they knew what it was, and they was, if it went down, it went down. And I was cool for the guys. Y'all got it. But for the ladies, I didn't want that.
I'd say honorable mention, the Saints, New Orleans, just because of the sound.
The sound.
But the sound, you don't hear anything. But it's fun. But New Orleans is fun, though.
It's fun, yeah.
But you can't hear
you're not
anything.
in danger.
No.
But I mean, in regards to a tough environment.
Yeah.
I've never heard voices start to sound like an engine.
Yeah.
It's crazy. That's just people. And they scream and scream, and after a while it gets bouncing off of everything in there, and they don't sound like humans. It sounds like an engine or some type of mechanics, and it's turned up louder and louder and louder.
And it's like, normally when you drink, you begin to lose your voice, but these people don't.
Right.
It's just
they're professional drinkers.
Yeah, they're just like
That's what they do.
No doubt about it.
No, in New Orleans, like from where you and I are standing, I could not hear the words that come out of your mouth.
That's crazy,
when they got to going. Like
crazy,
it was tough.
That would be my honorable mention.
we just held hands because even if our center tried to do the snap count, you just couldn't hear it. They were real that Seattle must be pumping music because Seattle was never that scary. Not like New Orleans. That was a difference. That was a different sound.
All right, Cowboys are sitting here 3-3. If you are the coaches, what is it that you can legitimately fix as you go take on the 49ers, Jessie? Legitimately.
Assignment alignment football. You've heard the guys talk about it. 2 weeks ago, Jordan Lewis, kind of in a very snarky way. It wasn't snarky, but in a very kind of humorous way. He overused the word details, right? Details, and that is the one thing. If we're not going to be extremely or supremely talented, if we're just not going to just overwhelm you with force or overwhelm you with talent, then you gotta be Princeton offense, right? Like you gotta, Princeton offense beat you because they're gonna cut, pass, backdoor, every single time.
College basketball,
college basketball, right? Like you have to be that. So that's the one thing. If you're going to say we just don't have the Jimmys and Joes, then damn it, we have to be almost perfect in the details of our alignment and assignment football.
So if you're playing Army or Navy, they're running the wishbone assignment alignment.
Stick with it.
Line, you got the fullback.
That's it.
Linebackers, you got the quarterback. Corner, you got to come up and get the pitch.
You got to get the pitch, man. And that has to be, it can't be 65% of the time.
Right.
It got to be 99.99999% of the time. You have to. And that's the only thing that, because where we stand right here, and these guys know this, when you leave training camp, your foundation is set. Your identity is set. As the season progresses, you are to add layers to that as you go along. Each week gives you a different game plan. So there's things that you add in as layers to this. And then by the end of it all, you have a collection of things that you can go to and play a game. When you start off the way the Cowboys have started off this season, they have not got a chance. They came out of training camp, didn't have an identity. Secondly, when you play as bad as they have played, you spend so much time, and you hear the coaches say, we got to get back to the basics. We got to get back to the basics. Mike Zimmer said the other day in his presser, he said, we took 8 steps back. I thought we were going in the right direction after after Pittsburgh and the Giants. We took 8 steps back. So if you took 8 steps back, now I got to stay focusing on the basics of what we're doing. And you can't be basic against the 49ers. Can't be. You won't be able to be basic against the Houston Texans. You won't be able to be basic against Washington or Atlanta, right? These teams that you're facing, but you're so undisciplined and you're so out of sorts that you have not been afforded the luxury to add the next level to whatever your offense or defense is.
I'm not trying to talk about the coach or trying to get him replaced or anything, but this is the kind of rhetoric that you hear from a Belichick type of team. They're going to beat you with their fundamentals. They already know they don't have that much talent. We're losing a lot of talent. The talent we had, a lot of them are hurt. A lot of people are injured on this team, which really adds to the frustration of the defensive coach and all of that. But when it comes down to it, if you're a Bill Belichick type of team, they're going to still be as basic and fundamental as they need to be every time. Just like you talked about with that triple option, they're going to be a triple option type of team. Not running the triple option, but have that mentality, as you talked about, of being not talented, but fundamentally sound.
We're not going to shoot ourselves in the foot. We're not jumping offside.
We're not going to give. Yeah, we're not giving them that.
Right.
We're going to have to take it because we're not going to give it to you. I've always loved that type of ball. You know, I played for Belichick, so yeah, I understood that. I didn't realize what an offensive genius he was, but he studied offense because of all the defense going up against his defense. He studied the offenses that were successful against him. So he's kind of tried to cover all angles in that regard. But we're dealing with injuries as well as not having talent. No depth and not much talent, that's a problem.
Yeah, but you had talent week 3 when you got boat raced by the Saints. You had talent. Those guys wasn't hurt then.
And we also have youth as well. I mean, I'm just telling you what it is.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, offensively, our offensive line is not good. They're just not consistently good. They're not consistently good. We're still trying to look at our defensive line, trying to get them consistently good. Like Nate was talking about yesterday, one of the players, he's got to play better. You can't have a couple of players playing well and a couple of players not. That's not fundamentally sound.
So, Nate, what legitimately can these coaches fix during this bye week as they get ready to face the 49ers? Jessie says it's about being assignment alignment. What do you think?
The bottom line, I listened to a show earlier. The bottom line is what both of these gentlemen are saying, but you're asking third teamers to do it against first teamers. And I'm talking about defensively. It's not going to work. You can line up. I'm going to be on the outside eye of Everson, and I'm going to maintain this gap. But if Everson are all pro and I'm a third teamer, not going to work. They're going to have to get these guys back healthy. They're going to have to go from ground one, like Jessie's saying, and you can't never get away from it. When we play the 17th and final game, we have to be still talking assignment and alignment. When you go into next year, going to training camp, you have to be talking the same thing because anything less, you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat to death. I just believe that.
So the coaches, as Everson said, we're not trying to fire anyone here. It's just, what do you do? Right. You're sitting here, and this is what I said. You guys tell me if I'm crazy. I said this on Channel 5.
You crazy? No.
This team is good enough to beat 500 teams and teams below 500.
No doubt.
But anyone good, they can't. Because if you can't run the football and you can't stop the run, it's a recipe for disaster in the league. Right. We can play fantasy football all day long, talking about I got this wide receiver, I got this quarterback, I got this. But this game is still won in the trenches. That's what I said. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
That's facts.
I think you're 100% correct in that part. But I do think there are ways if you want to modernize what you do. Now that's a tough road to toe because sometimes you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Okay. And the guys that you have in those positions at head coach / OC and DC are guys, and I've always said this when it comes to coaches, we praise them for when they do good. We don't shame them enough when they're stubbornly dumb. And a lot of coaches who are of Mike McCarthy, Michael from Pittsburgh, and Mike Zimmer, their ages, they are stubborn in their ways because that's how they came up in this game. That's what has made them successful in their moments in time in this season. But in the words of Fat Joe, yesterday's price is not today's price. So what you did in the early 2000s and what you did in 2010, the game has changed. Those coordinators on the other side, both offensively and defensively, I say this jokingly, they got updated iPhone 16s, right? They wear skinny jeans that don't cover their ankles. They're into the analytics, and they're willing to do all these different things that will make the mismatches they'll dictate the mismatches that they want on any given down.
But Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo are still out here doing what they've been doing.
They're willing.
Andy Reid has said it publicly. Andy Reid goes, if you are on my team, coach and or player, and you got some plays that you think we should run, bring them to me.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them to me.
And furthermore, he will sit down with you as a player or a coach.
Andy Reid is running merry-go. They're doing merry-go-round in the huddle, breaking the huddle from doing a merry-go-round to run a play. That ain't 1990. That is an up-to-date of what they're doing today. They got some now granted, they got Mulatto Jesus and they got Chris Jones on defense. Mm-hmm. That helps. Talent always will help you.
Yeah, they got
But
talent.
those guys understand, hey, we got to do little things a little different. And offensively, Andy Reid, he ain't doing what he did when he was playing in Philadelphia.
And understand,
coaching in Philadelphia.
And understand this. When you cross the 20, the defensive coordinator is still going to blitz you. It just may look a little different. It ain't changing. But most times you cross most teams 20, they're gonna give you an extra man. It's just where that extra man is coming from and who that extra man is.
Let's get a break. When we come back on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Game, I'm going to ask Nate Newton, Everson Walls, and Jessie Holley, who was the best position coach you ever had and what made that coach good? We'll do it next right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle.
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys! Back to the Players Lounge.
This segment is brought to you by Little Stars. Hey, parents, get ready for a spooktacular time as the Little Stars present by Nuna on Wednesday, October 30th. This free Halloween theme event is perfect for your little ones, pumpkin age 5 and under. Join us from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for fun activities, silly games, and lots of treats. Visit thestardistrict.com for more information.
Thank you, Brother Jessie Holley. Appreciate it. This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming, the normal crew. Heckma Harrison, Barry Church now here. In their place, we've got Nate Newton, College Football Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys. Everson Walls, a Super Bowl champion himself with the New York Giants, but we all know him as a Dallas Cowboy, came to the league, led the league in interceptions. And we got Jessie Holley, Mr. Fourth and Long. I'll always love Jessie because he was part of the 2005 National Championship team in North Carolina.
You got to start doing me first. Because when you do Super Bowl champion, and you be like, whoa.
NCAA champion. Everybody got a championship ring here.
Let me go first and get mine out the way so that you can build up to these dudes. When you come around to me third, I just feel like, I literally sit here like, you be like,
it's like an
Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame. I just sing.
No.
He be like, Everson
No. Newy's voice rises, though, because it helps, you know.
He goes,
his enthusiasm as he introduces you is amazing.
College Football Hall of Fame, I'd be like, huh? He'd be like, Jessie Holley. I'd be like this. He'd be like, Jessie Holley. I'd be like,
But don't he make you feel good when he say, well, and I'm Newy Scruggs?
I'm merely
that's how he does it.
I'm merely
by the time you come around me, I'd be way down here. I'd be like, damn.
And his enthusiasm for himself, it goes down. But
Do me first next
when
time.
he introduces
man.
you, he's like,
this
Jessie
race,
Holley.
Do me first, then Everson, then Nate, then yourself.
Baby, you won a national championship. You won a championship, man. Roy's first championship. That's special. Special in the parts where I'm from, man.
Boy, I be trying to hold on what little confidence I got left, but when you come around that table, Super Bowl, 3 times, Super Bowl over here, I be like, Jessie Holley. He got caught at the 1 yard line. I'm like, hey.
I was there.
Wow, that's funny.
I was filming. I was filming it too.
Oh boy, it's good to laugh at yourself
That's
sometimes,
a good one.
man.
Yeah, you have to, brother. You have to, trust me.
I'll start with you here, Jessie.
Thank you, appreciate you. Thank you.
Your favorite position coach, the position coach, and I bring this up because so many times people look at coordinators and head coaches, but it is the position coach that you spend most of your time with. The position coaches all started right there. They have the room together. You spend most of your time with that guy. Mm-hmm. So, Jessie, your favorite position coach, who is the guy that you felt like, hey, man, he knew how to do his gig?
I have a lot of love for Ray Sherman, who was my wide receiver coach. Love Coach Sherman. Love Coach Sherman. Was a solid dude, man. Good coach. But for me, it was Joe DeCamillis, who was the special teams coordinator. Mm-hmm. And I learned so much about football, about the business of football, about having a sponsor in football. And Jody took care of me. Like Jody, he was, and I've always been a player that give it to me real. Don't give me the Jason Garrett, I wish I had 53 of you, and the one that you had, you cut. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Give me, hey, you effed up. Here's why. Or, hey, keep doing. And Joe DeCamillis, man, he's still to this day, special dude, man. Talk to him often. He was one that he would stand on the table for me. Mm-hmm. He would get in those meeting rooms. I remember we were playing the Arizona Cardinals in AZ, and I had a couple catches in that game. And Jody's walking up the sideline, and he's yelling, and this is the guy that you wanted to cut? And all he does is show up when you need him. Like, he's yelling that on the sideline about me. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a dude, when he says, hey, Jess, I need you to go down here and break this wedge. I'm like, all right, point him out. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jess, on kickoff return, their best player, he's 6'5", 270. I got you. I don't know how we gonna do it, but I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe some Advil on the side.
Yeah, right. I got you. And I'm like, we gonna have to quick shot him, I have to come around him, but I got you because I knew that he had my back. I knew that he was always honest with me and upfront with me, and man, he gave me the game for real. And so to him, I'll always be indebted to Joe DeCamillis.
Everson Walls.
Oh, mine is pretty simple. Even though was a head coach and became a head coach and defensive coordinator for the Giants, Belichick. It's just that simple.
Telling you, boy.
No, he was a guy that, like you said, I learned a lot from him. I learned about his professionalism. I mean, I knew about it, but to see a coach that was as consistent as he was, and like you said, he's going to give it to you straight. You know, I remember once we played the Detroit Lions. And I was blessed enough to play with a heck of a defense in New York. And there were times when he had me back at safety on third downs because I can take advantage of my playmaking ability. And but the Lions kept running Barry Sanders. And Barry was scared. You can see it. He was afraid. I mean, that was 1990. You should be afraid of that team.
Right.
Sorry, that defense was something. Take me out of it. That defense, that front seven, and so kept trying to run him in there. He wasn't doing anything. After a while, I'm just back there looking. It's nothing to do. I'm just back there looking, bro. There's nothing. They didn't have a game plan. They weren't trying to throw the wide receivers because I was waiting to get something. There was nothing back there. He called me in on Monday and said, Everson, the man said, he's talking about Parcells, the man said you need to do better. I'm like, do what? He said, do better. I mean, and I know what he means. You just got your body language is bad, bro.
Right,
back there damn near chilling. There was a couple plays. Get him on TV. Couple plays I didn't even have to move.
Right,
and they're like, man, you can't do that, man. But I had never been on a defense like that before. And so he was right. And I kept trying to argue. I don't want to hear it. And that's what I liked about him. I'm going to be loyal to this man. That's my boss. I'm not going to lose my job because of you. Right? So you do what the man told me to tell you to do.
That's right.
And we are done. I like that, bro. Yeah. That's what I like about New Yorkers, East Coast brothers. All this polite crap that's going on, politeness, but really on the inside they don't like it. Think about New Yorkers and East Coast people. They don't like you. They're going to tell you that, but then they're going to still work with you, though. They're going to still work with you if they have to. That's why I'm always at East Coast mentality.
That's why we get along so much.
That's why we get along,
That's
bro.
why we get along.
I don't like BS. We got BS enough. I wasn't drafted. You wasn't drafted. No. You know about it, man. Everybody get tired of just somebody BSing you all the time. Happens a lot. I don't mean this building. I'm talking about in the South alone. Right. Man, you go East Coast, man, they're going to, hey, man, what you want, man? I tell you what I want. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll help you out. That's just it. That's what I like, man. That's what I like. I love it.
All right.
Belichick is my guy. Also, Nick Saban wasn't bad either as a position coach. I'm talking about position coaches. At that time, Belichick was a defensive coordinator, but he was also my position coach. The same with Nick Saban when I went to Cleveland. He was my defensive coordinator, but he was also my position coach. Yeah. And those two guys were real.
Did you see Nick
Bill Parcells
being what he became?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I did. Because of his intensity, bro. He would just stand up there, tell people all the time. He respected the veterans. He really did. He was trying to learn a lot from us. I appreciated that much from him. But he would just stand there all the time. We'd ask you a question, and he just rocked back and forth. He's looking at you. He's already thinking about something else. He's not even really looking at you. He's in his brain, just kind of
next move.
Yeah.
His next move.
He's just intense. He would rock back and forth as he would stand up there at the thing. I'm like, man, this dude here is intense. So I like that about it.
A lot of great coaches on that staff when I worked up there that That's you true. Didn't know. So it was Saban was a defensive coordinator. And he had gotten the job at Michigan State when I got up there. So he finished it out and went up there. Kirk Ferentz coached O-line. Still at Iowa.
Bates, was it Bates, the defensive line coach?
Can't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember Pat Hill.
He ended up going to Atlanta, having a good career.
Pat Hill coached the tight ends, went out to Fresno State, became legendary out there at Fresno State. Ozzie Newsome was in personnel under Mike Lombardi, and obviously we know he went out there and won 2 Super Bowls. Scott Pioli was an advanced scout who was dating lady that I knew at my TV station. And she fed him. He wasn't making no cash. Mangini used to turn the blinds on us because he worked in PR, so we couldn't see on the field. He was there. Schwartz was there. Is some assistant dude.
Yeah, Mangini,
Jim Schwartz was there.
He was.
Yeah, man, it was a lot.
Good company man.
It was a lot of good dudes on that Cleveland staff.
And look at Cleveland now. You let 25 guys go, and look at you now. Come on, man.
They got Deshaun Watson paid.
And Mari got out. Mari like, I'm gone.
He just keep that brother keep getting colder. Everywhere he keep colder and colder, man.
He's gonna be in Canada.
Might be, man. I had a job interview in Buffalo one time, man. It was so cold. I wouldn't have no job that time. I called him and said, I don't want this job.
That was one of my free agent choices coming out of Grambling. I could have gone Cowboys, Saints, or Buffalo. Buffalo was the first thing I crossed out.
I was like,
Not going to
I don't want to
Buffalo.
work that bad.
No.
I was getting unemployment. I was in Austin. I'm
going up there.
gonna hang out here a little longer. Then I got the job in Cleveland. I went to Cleveland. Buffalo was so bad with the Cleveland. Oh, this is
This is nice.
This ain't bad.
Look at they got the flats down here. Literally, that's how bad
The
Buffalo
flats,
was.
go
man.
ahead, boy.
That's how bad Buffalo was, man. Now I'm in a newsroom meeting, Nate. I'm in a newsroom meeting, and the guy says, the news director's like, "Hey, I know some of you out here taking guns on your assignment. You can't bring your personal gun to work." And the guy was like, "You don't know what it's like out here in the streets." I was like, "Oh, yeah. I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow, and I'm never coming back."
No, man.
Never coming back. Then that night, they made me be a part of the studio audience for the Steve Tasker show. I fell asleep. Channel 7 in Buffalo, baby. All right, Nate Newton, give me your position coach.
All right, man. I had two of them that was great, man.
Offensive line.
Offensive line, man. Tony Wise.
Of course.
Tony Wise was a ball of energy, and we tried to switch him over our blocking schemes, and he looked at us. He said, "Fellas, love you to death. Work with you any way I can." But he went to cussing about his style, the way he wanted things done. And he said, "You know what? Never threaten you guys, but if you feel you can't do this, I'll get Jimmy to get you out of here." But we started deuce blocking because once again, a guy that was straightforward. Love you to death, but straightforward. Same way with Hudson Hawk. Nate, you gonna drop step. You gonna drop. Before it was over, I was in sync, drop stepping, Emmett running up. I like guys like that, straightforward guys. You have the talent to do it. And I love guys like that. The straightforward, tell you what it is, and you have the talent to do it.
And they appreciate that.
Yeah.
And they're going to look out for you because you're giving all you have to them.
Yes.
That's what I like about it. They're like, okay, I can depend on this guy. There's something to have trust from between the coach and player. That's amazing. It's like it's a relationship. Now, I'd say Gene Stallings was tough when he was coaching in Dallas. He was all about conditioning, which we needed. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna run y'all to death," and he did not lie. And I was accustomed to that because at Grambling, that's all we did. So I came in shape. I wasn't worried about that. But as far as technique and as far as being real with you, Belichick wasn't as threatened by his higher ups as Gene was by his higher ups, and that's not Gene's fault. Gene was just a victim of the system. Ernie Stoughton, victim of the system. Those guys, I know they bring up some old-ass names, but that was Tom's system. Everything that we did was Tom's system.
Flex defense.
And it wasn't no flex in how he did things. It was no flex.
But to your point with Bill Belichick, like he was very straightforward. When I went and signed with the Patriots, he brought me in his office and he said, "Listen, can you do X, Y, and Z?" He's like, "I'm not asking you to do nothing else. Can you do these three things? Because if you can, you could be a part of this team. If you cannot, don't worry. I'll find someone who can." This is literally what he said to me.
It's not about you.
He said, "Don't worry." He's looking at me like, "If you can't, don't worry. I'm just going to find somebody else who can." And he
I got a list of names.
Right. Like, no, for real.
That's real.
And you talk about how he was at practice. Like, he was so... Bill Belichick used to do things where I love the way that he made competition. He would have a coach come tell me before practice, "Hey, it's really coming down between you and this other guy. So, you might want to have a good practice today." So now, but he had the DB coach say the same thing to his guys. So now we already have this natural wide receiver to DB to deal, but now I'm in competition with the guy he just told me about. But then you would get on the practice field, and he would do things like practice would start, things would be going, he'll blow the whistle. He didn't like coaches on the field because he said you couldn't do it in the game. Get off the field. But then he'll go, "Burp. Tom Brady out with the ankle injury. Give me the number 3 quarterback." And now you're the number 3 quarterback, and you have to go in there and finish out the rest of the period as the number 1 guy. And I'm like, oh, snap. Well, he'll come up to you and he goes, "Hey, we're playing the Jets this week. tell me about their outside linebacker. And you're like, if you don't know, he's like, oh, I can't trust you. Because you don't know the opponent that you're going up against. It's Wednesday, and you can't tell me about the outside linebacker for the New York Jets that we're about to play? Cool.
Wow.
And you be on the bench.
That's how it's done. Now, that's head coach Belichick.
Right.
That's head coach Belichick. Defensive coordinator Belichick, he had more of a simple plan because he's a defensive coordinator. He's not a head coach.
Right.
So he would have that on lock. He had defensive coordinatorship on lock. He had nobody else to talk to, nobody else to go to. Parcells let him run his defense the way he ran. Because Parcells is all about the running game. Offensive running game. That's what Parcells does. And he let Belichick do what Belichick needed to do. Matter of fact, when I first met both of them, I called Bill Parcells. I said, man, I want to come up here and play. I can help y'all win. You got that front seven. I can pick off some balls, man. It's a perfect match. And so we ended up doing that. And when it came down to it, Belichick understood that I was good for that team right away. Parcells didn't think I was good for the team. Belichick came in. He knew I was good for that defense. Parcells, I'm making predictions like I'm Muhammad Ali. Parcells never impressed. Once again, East Coast type of brother, in New Jersey. Whatever, kid. He's like, whatever. Meet my defensive coordinator. Belichick, come on. And Bill Belichick was smiling from ear to ear. He was happy to see me because he does this. He'll take some dude nobody want to deal with no more, myself, Rodney Harrison, guys like that, put him in there and put him in there to make plays, not just for yourself, but for the team. Because those plays you make for yourself, those plays are going to be good for my defense.
Fellas, that's why I would never, ever, me and Jessie going to bump heads. And I hope we keep doing shows forever. Every run known to man, Coach Parcells knew. And he didn't care how bad it got. He was going to run because he was not going to let you crush his offensive mind. Yo, Mike McCarthy. Every run known to man. I'm telling you, because you are crushing your offensive line. And in the long run, Dak's going to pay for it.
That's right. You've always said that. You've always you've said that more than once.
Yeah.
We've got our break coming up. Last one. After 6 games, who are the Pro Bowl players potentially on this roster?
Well, Aiden Hutchinson was until
this roster. This roster. Do it next with Jessie, Holley, Everson, Walsh, Nate Newton, Newy Scruggs. This is the Players Lounge. Brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hey, Danny McCray here for Smoothie King. You know every great workout deserves a great reward. So treat yourself right with new coconut smoothie bowls. Made with real fruit, crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, creamy coconut, and topped with the chocolate hazelnut or honey drizzle. With 2 new flavors, it's perfect for you and the workout buddy. So you both can stay on track even after you leave the track. Scoop up new coconut smoothie bowls only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2024 NFL season, Boss teamed up with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection. The Boss Cowboys collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Arriving just in time for the start of the season, the distinctive attire from the latest Boss Cowboys expansion offers sports aficionados and true bosses the chance to show their team spirit and style. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express edition of cook-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
This final segment is brought to you by DCU Cowboy Nation. Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, is now exclusively in the Cowboys app. Join the official fan club today to receive access to all the new Cowboys drop features, team news, and pre-sale access. And fans and kids of the game, download the app now to join.
All right.
Boy, y'all threw me off.
You got through that one, man. You got through that one.
Yeah,
Going back to
Just get through it, bro.
You get through it.
He gave a
Going
new
back-
meaning.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris gave a new meaning.
Well, we transitioned from one thing to
The Cowboys are going back to Cali in 2 weeks.
Oh, man.
I love LA.
He gave a new meaning to stand by. Didn't he?
Yeah, for real. I got to pay premium to see that episode. I got to pay the what's it called, the Patreon price.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Game. We've got Nate Newton, Everson Walls.
Go the
Jessie
other way,
Holley,
bro. The other way,
Scruggs.
man.
I'm going to start with you, Jessie. For this last question of the show, as our final Players Lounge podcast of the week. As it stands after 6 games, who are the Pro Bowl players on this team, in your opinion?
You got to move him back. You got to move him back. If you move Tyler Smith back to left guard, he is a dominant Pro Bowl player. If you leave him out there at tackle, he's better than Tyler Guyton, but you still have a hole because he's only okay, average, a little bit above average at tackle. He's first team All-Pro at guard. So if I'm saying that if you move him back to his position at left guard, Tyler Smith is a Pro Bowl player.
Okay, so you got one.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good number.
That's all I got.
If I was going to pick anyone, Donovan Wilson.
Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl.
No, you can go with nobody. Then you got nobody. It is what it is.
I said
That's a nobody. Okay, what you got, Nate?
You know what, man? I've been a Cowboy fan so long.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Tight end, Ferguson. I'll give Ferguson some love.
Pro Bowl.
They haven't thrown him the ball enough. He's that caliber player, but they haven't thrown the ball enough. Mm-hmm. And I feel so bad. For the first time in my life, I could say the Cowboys don't have anybody that deserves even consideration.
That
hurts.
At this point.
No one. I'm serious.
Mm-hmm.
Consideration.
You're wrong.
I'm telling you, even our left guard has had some plays where I was like, wow, this thing is leaking over onto him.
Nobody's saying nothing about it.
And I'm serious. Go back. It's the thing that is bothering. I remember when our team was going through that 1-15, 3-13. We had players we thought were Pro Bowl or All-Pro players, and then when at the end of the year, when all the people that came out that were the Pro Bowlers and All-Pro, we thought, yeah, he was that guy. See, because you got to understand where we love Tyler Smith. It's 2 guards that just left out of here that's going to get votes ahead of him. Both guards for the Lions are going to get consideration. If things keep going and no injuries and we keep going how we going, because what hurts us is the same things that help us. When we are rolling, we get votes from everywhere.
Right.
But when things go bad for the Cowboys, we are hated. And when people get a chance to take some of our better players and not position them, I promise you, this man should be a Hall of Famer. Why is he not?
All right. Guys, miss one guy.
CD.
Oh, you talking about the kicker?
My man.
Kicker, the kicker.
Brandon Aubrey, he only one right now. The only one right now.
I don't
the
do
MVP
kickers.
of the team.
I don't do
the
kickers.
Mark Mosley of the team right now.
He's the guy.
Yeah, he is. He is 100%.
Yeah,
First team
excited.
All-Pro.
Good job, Newy.
First team All-Pro.
That's good job, Newy.
First team All-Pro.
stuff. That's
He's
real.
first team All-Pro.
Yeah, I don't do kickers.
And that tells you the state of this football team.
That does.
That tells you the state of this football team.
It sure does.
That the one guy that we could, without a shadow of a doubt, say, this is a Pro Bowler, is the guy most of us, not you, but the players, we look at and go, kicker? We don't even respect the kicker like that. We like,
it never came into my head.
Like, we don't even look at kickers as players. Like, y'all just over there.
Yeah, but I sure appreciate those threes he gives us, though. I sure appreciate them.
I know my guys guys on the weekends love the fantasy. They love him as a fantasy guy, but I got into it with a guy. I said, if we are kicking 60-yarders, we are losing.
That's right.
I said, you would never, I told the guy who does the show here, I said, you would never understand that as a player. You would get excited about fantasy football, but you would never understand I don't like 60-yard field goals. I'm losing when I'm kicking 60-yard field goals.
You are normally not in scoring position.
Yeah.
I mean, you saved it. You're trying to get saved.
Yeah. So
that's a good one, though, Newy.
But that hurts,
you worth your weight in gold on that one, boy. That was all right.
You held that one like
that was all right.
like the big joker. You had it like the big joker.
That was all right. He was holding it too, wasn't he?
Bob
Lilly,
when Bob Lilly was the only guy being a Pro Bowler. We at least had Bob Lilly.
Yeah.
You picked the one white guy. You picked the white guy, the black
soccer player. Who, oh, by the way,
the finance guy. He's the finance guy.
Hey, before we leave, if you don't mind, Newy.
Okay.
I got a call from Roy Green yesterday. Former St. Louis Cardinal wide receiver, my nemesis.
I love you, Roy, for two reasons.
Bush Stadium. The old days of Bush Stadium, catch a pass from Jim Hart.
Yeah, on my ass. And
and Neil Lomax.
And we got really bad when Neil came because he could throw it further. But I limp around here a little bit every once in a while. I try not to because my left ankle pretty much got fractured one play.
Wow.
1985, Thanksgiving, I think we were playing the St. Louis Cardinals. This is when Roy, and I told him this, he kicked my ass all the time, but in 85, the injury started to build up on it.
Right.
And that gave me a chance to catch up and do decent. This particular play, he went deep on me for one of the few times that I was, had to cover it. Lomax threw the ball up. Easy ball. It's hanging up there for me. All I got to do is go up and catch it.
Right.
I'm going up for it. Next thing you know, I see this hand come across, not just knocked the hell out of me, landed on my back, and we both landed on that ankle.
Wow.
I'm not coming out the game. I didn't come out the game. But that's what a wide receiver does. I asked him, I said, why'd you do that? He said, I'm taking up for my quarterback. I'm playing for my
Don't
quarterback.
bring that up. Don't do that.
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
Don't do that.
I'm just telling you.
I see what you're doing.
I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what he said because it was so timely. It was just so. He called me. I didn't call him. It was so timely. I said, man, let
These
me ask you
mics
something.
don't drop, but if they did.
I said, let me ask you something. What'd you think? He said, man, you got to take up for your quarterback at all times.
At all times.
That's what he said. You got to take up for your quarterback.
Is that happening?
Did you hang out with Neil Lomax? No, I didn't hang out with Neil Lomax. He was like 5 years older than Neil Lomax.
So
he said, I always take up for my quarterback.
Because we now need to go, listen to the end of yesterday's Players Lounge, and it'll tie into exactly what Everson Walls is saying. We all know it. We just going to let it marinate right there. And if you really, really want to understand what Roy Green was saying about Neil Lomax and protect your quarterback, listen to the show yesterday.
Roy Green got my boy throughout our...
Nate Newton?
Yeah, he did. I didn't think about that.
I'm like,
That's my
love
dude.
Roy for his abilities, but he got my boy kicked off the team.
Everson Walls, Jessie Holley.
Thanks, Roy.
I'm Newy Scruggs for Jazz.
I ended up in New York, baby.
Joshie, everyone. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Yes, sir.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!